In today's world, I feel like it's easier than ever to lose touch with your true self. With so many distractions going on, we can become consumed by social media and our surrounding environments. It's scary to think that people can live their whole lives in accordance to how everyone else thinks they should be living, ignoring deep down what it is that they really want to do. What matters most in life gets buried under layers of pressing problems, immediate concerns, and outward behaviors. Nowadays, it's incredibly easy to get caught up in the busyness of life, to be working harder and harder to climb that ladder of success, only to realize that it's leaning against the wrong wall. But why does this happen? It's because people never take the time to define what success means to them and figure out what really matters in their life. So how do we figure this out? It may all seem a bit overwhelming, but I want to keep it simple with you. It all starts with perspective. Oftentimes, we can be so caught up in the motions of life and the concerns of today or this week or next month that we forget about the bigger picture and lose touch with what's really important in our life. The first step is to cut off the noise. Spend a night to yourself, turn your phone off and sit down with a pen and paper. Cut out all the distractions. You may find this uncomfortable, but it's one of the only ways we can best access this mental clarity is actually taking time to visualize our own funeral. Think about what it is that we want people to be saying about us in our lives. How do we want to have lived? What do we want to be remembered for? Spend a couple hours actually thinking about this stuff and write it down. Remember, don't judge yourself, and only you can identify what is important to you in your life and what matters the most. Now that you've taken the time and written that down, what ideas keep coming up? What values and thoughts and principles keep coming to mind? How is it that you want to have lived your life? To give you an example, it may be that you value creating awesome memories and that you want to live your life like a movie and you're the hero and just have epic stories to be able to tell at the end of your life. Or it may be that you value having a positive mindset and that you want to spend your life actually adding value and impacting the lives of other people. Whatever it is, remember, there's no right or wrong answers. Keep it simple throughout this process. You don't have to have your whole life figured out. These are just the values and the things that are important to you in your life right now that are serving you. They can always change, so summarize it into about 5 or so things. Once you've got some clarity on things that are important to you in your life and what matters most, it's time that you actually start living life more in alignment with those things. One question I like to ask myself in difficult situations is, you're 99 years old on your deathbed and you get a chance to come back to this exact situation. What would you do? When you start to live your life like this, you'll be more equipped to deal with the fear and pressure in current situations because you'll have a long-term perspective and you won't sweat the small stuff as much. It may be hard at first, but you need to constantly renew your mind to the truth and remember what you've written down and have the courage to be able to act in alignment with those things. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, then you'll be the person that regrets it. Throughout this process, you cannot be afraid to let go. As you start to become more self-aware and get clarity on how it is you want to live your life, you will definitely know when something's off. From my experience in life, whenever I'm not being criticized, it usually means that I'm kind of just drifting through life and trying to make everyone else happy. So remember that if you're not being criticized, it usually means that you're not doing anything. So don't stay loyal to a version of yourself that doesn't serve you anymore or isn't helping you in your life. This is so easy to say, but is probably one of the hardest things to do. I can tell you that if you have the discipline and persevere through these hard times of finding yourself and that season of transition, there's so much freedom and enjoyment and joy on the other side waiting for you to be able to unlock and create the new version of yourself. Like most positive habits that tend to change and impact our life the most, they're important, but they're not urgent. So we tend to put them off and get caught up in the busyness of life. You may have taken the time and written down what is important to you in your life, but it is so easy to keep on being busy that you just forget about what it is that matters in the long term. That's why I want to encourage you to write it down. Put it somewhere where you can review it every day, maybe on your mirror, maybe on the screensaver of your phone, and have the diligence to be able to keep living life in alignment with these things. At the end of the day, it's how you're going to feel most happy, it's how you're going to feel the best about the life that you're living, and making sure that you spend your time focusing on what's important to you, not on all the monotonous, meaningless tasks that mean nothing at the end of the day. In my own experience, this exercise has been the one thing that has impacted every other area of my life, because it gave me self-awareness and clarity as to how I live my life. It's helped me think about what matters most in my life so I can spend my time doing those things and not get so caught up in worrying about or stressing about everything else that really doesn't mean anything. For me, this never fails to take the pressure off, and has been something that has helped me so much in my life. I wanted to create something simple and practical that you can do to be able to figure out what it is that is important to you in your own life and get you on that pathway to have more clarity and self-awareness. If you got any value out of this video, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. And if you're into this kind of content and want to follow me on my journey, please consider subscribing. So I'll catch you in the next one. What do you say? Let's do it.